Hello everyone, welcome to the video. In this video we will talk about pernicious anemia. But before that we will see what actually anemia is. So anemia, it is defined as hemoglobin concentration in blood below the normal limit of the normal range for a particular age and sex. Actually, we have defined a particular range in accordance to the age and sex of the individual. And when the hemoglobin concentration goes below that level which we have defined, it is called as anemia. Now, we will see the normal range. For female, it is 11 gram per deciliter. For male, it is 13 gram per deciliter. And for a newborn baby, it has 15 gram per deciliter. Now we will see what exactly is pernicious anemia. The other name of pernicious anemia is vitamin B12 deficiency anemia or the Addison's anemia. Now we will see the cause and etiology of this anemia. It is caused because of the gastric atrophy. The mucosa of the gastric region, that is the stomach, atrophies, means it is destroyed, or it may be autoimmune disease. Let us see how. This is the stomach. This is the fundus region of the stomach. Now fundus region have a group of cells called as the parietal cells. These parietal cells secrete two things. First is HCl, we all know about that, which maintains the acidic environment. And the other function of this, it helps in absorption of vitamin B12. So parietal cells functions through helping in absorption of vitamin B12. It is by intrinsic factor. And this vitamin B12 further helps in RBC maturation. Now, in case the mucosa of stomach is atrophied, the mucosa is damaged, the parietal cells will be damaged, which will result in decreased absorption of vitamin B12, which will not help in maturing the RBC and thus will lead to anemia. This type of anemia is known as pernicious anemia. Now looking at the pathogenesis, we have already seen first one, that is destruction of the gastric mucosa, and the second one was formation of antibodies or the autoimmune. Now what happens in autoimmune is our body forms antibody against the parietal cells, and such antibodies are known as the antiparietal antibodies. These antibodies destroy the parietal cells. Therefore, the intrinsic factor decreases, which will lead to decrease absorption of B12, which will further decrease the erythrocyte maturing factor. Therefore, the RBC will not be formed properly. So this was the autoimmune cause due to formation of antiparietal antibodies. Now we will see the clinical features of the disease. We have divided the clinical features under three categories: anemia, vitamin B12 deficiency, and oral manifestations. Generally, in anemia, what we see is pallor, loss of appetite, loss of weight, and headache. In this we also see vitamin B12 deficiency because the intrinsic factor is decreased. So When there is deficiency of vitamin B12, we see neurological manifestation, which includes ataxia, which means muscular incoordination. Ataxia, then we see progressive weakness of muscle. And paresthesia. So these were the neurological manifestations seen due to deficiency of vitamin B12. Now we will look at the oral manifestations, which means the symptoms which we see in the oral mucosa, the changes which we see in the oral mucosa. The first one is glossitis. The second one is glossodynia. The third one is glossopyrosis. Now, what exactly do they mean? Glosso is something related to the tongue. Itis means inflammation of the tongue. Dynia means pain in the tongue. Pyrosis means the burning sensation in the tongue. All this cause redness in the tongue. The tongue appears red, which gives it a beefy red appearance. So the tongue is referred to as beefy red in this condition. And gradually, atrophy of the papillae is seen. Now, if we see the lab findings, in the blood we will see the RBC count is decreased. The size of RBC is large, that is macrocytosis. And to compensate for the large size of the RBC, hemoglobin in the RBC increases. And one more thing we can find is achlorohydria, that is decreased in HCl secretion in the stomach. This is because the parietal cells are damaged and parietal cells only secrete HCl. So we will see decreased in synthesis and release of HCl in the stomach. Now, what can be the treatment? The only treatment to this is administration of vitamin B12 and folic acid.
That's all for the video. Thanks for watching.